Hello, my name is Sogi Villar.gg, and I'm joined here with Com from Leviatan for our live Champions Seoul coverage following the Leviatan versus Trace Esports group stage matchup. Thank you for accepting today's interview, Com, and commiserations on the loss today. I want to start off with the match today. Your match was against one of the biggest unknowns of the tournament, Trace. I just want to know if beforehand, like during Shanghai, have you had any other prior experience playing against them, such as in practice or scrims?
No, never played against Trace before. I think going into this match overall, we looked at what they were doing, and they were doing a lot of good stuff. And yeah, they played really well today, honestly. You could just tell they were playing well.
Did you have any other initial thoughts besides that, or is that kind of your only really sort of thoughts on them?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. They weren't like other Chinese teams, I would say. They were a lot more slow and thought out in the way they were playing, whereas like most other Chinese teams are very like run it down, like W gaming, you know?
Yeah, some teams have said already that Trace is very, very macro heavy. Do you think that kind of reflects in today?
Yeah, and they had very good macro. We sometimes gave away our full macro in a matter of like 5 seconds of the round. So it was a lot. We kind of need to look back at the VOD for sure. I think, again, against Talon, we didn't play too great. And today, I'd say it's the same. So I guess it's just about finding like the overall form again.
And on the note of Talon as well, you played them initially on Bind as well, and that was the first map in today's veto. Whereas Trace had a bit of a clean sweep against Vitality, while you kind of struggled a little bit. You narrowly won 13-11, but you still let it go into veto. So how confident did you feel on Bind heading into today?
We were pretty confident going into it altogether. I think, to be honest, I felt like we had a lot of advantageous spots, and it felt like we just died like randomly, honestly, whether it be from spam or whatever they were doing. I wasn't too sure. But I mean, that's how the cookie crumbles.
Fair enough, man. And also, I do want to know as well, what's it kind of like playing against Trace's kind of unusual double Sentinel bind comp with Cypher and Deadlock?
I think it's good. But also I feel like we didn't like stick to our game plan at all. Whenever we went into it, we kind of gave them all the space they needed to like exec, and then on defense we kind of just stayed stagnant for the most part. So.
And despite the loss on Bind, you eventually lost at 10-13. But before Map 2 started, what were some of the kind of takeaways that you tried to fix before heading to Sunset?
I think it was just playing together. I think the biggest thing for this team is if we play together, we win the game. If it becomes a little bit more individualistic, then obviously we can win games that way, but it's not the most ideal way. And yeah, it was just like try to play together no matter what the score was, just try to do everything we do, you know?
Right. So Map 2 did take you to Sunset. It's a map that you've had fairly good performances on throughout Split 2, but that's in contrast to Trace, who also lost to Vitality in their previous match. So would you say that Sunset was kind of a comfort pick for the team heading into today?
I feel like our map pool overall is very good. Maybe have to look at it a little bit more after this, but I think our map pool is good overall. We have the map pool to, even if like we went to the grand finals and we had 2 map ban disadvantage, we'd be fine. But I think it's just essentially like figuring it out. I think we know the general direction we want to go now, but I don't know. Time will tell.
Right. So on that then, were you kind of more prepared to play your own game? It's not just for Sunset, but I guess just through the series as a whole?
Yeah. I think, again, we didn't really follow our game plan that well, and it became very individualistic. It's just about, I mean, we just have to go back to the drawing board on that.
Right. I do want to also talk about the victory on Sunset as well. While you did eventually win, a lot of it was kind of carried through. You had that 1-4K, I believe it was on round 7, off the back of your team's timeout, and then you kind of went on a hot streak of rounds after that. So how important do you think getting that first initial round was off, like a good performance by you to kind of get the team spirit back in track?
I think it's big because whenever people have individual pop-off rounds, it kind of gets people back in the flow of the game. I'd say these last couple games we're not fully in flow. People are like here and there, like kind of lackadaisical in some ways. But I think it's pretty normal. This game has that, and it's just about working through that as a team and keep growing.
And on the second half as well, you did go on a crazy, crazy round streak to kind of take the second half kind of flawlessly after Trace took those opening few rounds. So what kind of clicked on your defensive half to get such good momentum?
I think people just started giving all their ideas. I think as soon as we started flowing with our ideas and like filling in gaps perfectly and doing everything that we can do to like win the game ultimately, that's when this team is unbeatable. But I think whenever we're lacking ideas, that's when it becomes like very like 50-50.
Now moving on to Ascent now, things, to say the least, it definitely didn't go in your favor, especially in the first half. You took both timeouts by round 11, and at that point you were down 10-2 before eventually kind of falling at the half down 10-2. So what did you kind of discuss through both timeouts and even the halftime to try to get back on track as well?
I think the first one was figuring out what we should do to like counter kind of what they're doing. The second one was just reassuring the game plan, which even for me, I probably didn't follow all the way to perfection, you know? And yeah, we just didn't work the map as well as we wanted to in previous times. And yeah, I think it was just like reinforcing the game plan, trying to figure out what we could do, and then try to win some rounds.
Right. So Ascent did eventually fall 13-5. So overall, what else do you think kind of went wrong on the map, like as a whole?
Every time we went for some sort of like little exec, they were perfectly just holding their util out for that. They would be holding a lot of util and baiting out stuff perfectly. It was just all overall good. Like they played well. I'm not going to take that away from them, but we definitely underperformed.
Fair enough. I get that. And on that note as well, do you think there, in your mind at least, do you think there were any specific players that you think were kind of troubling or hard to play against today?
I would say on map 3, Kai, just because Kai had an op. Every time we tried to push him off, he just kept getting a pick. And I think ending that map, I think we ended with like some crazy amount of first deaths on everyone, like 13 or 14 without trade, which just cannot happen. So yeah, I would say Kai.
Fair enough. And then, but also, this is also your first match against a Chinese team this year, whereas previously you did win against EDG in Champions 2023. A lot of time has passed since then. So like since then, and I guess kind of supported a bit with the loss today. How much do you think the region has kind of caught up in the year since?
I just think they have a lot more diversity in their region. I think, especially this year, there's like slower teams that know how to default out the map and just like know exactly what they need to do to win the rounds. And they know their win cons, which is respectable. They're progressing. I said even before this tournament, I think China will be very good. I think all regions are pretty like even right now. And yeah, I just think they played really well. And yeah.
So your chances aren't over yet. You and Aspas still have the chance to become two-time world champions in the lower bracket. You get to go against one of Vitality or Talon. So which of the two are you kind of more excited to go against?
Either one. I think our team is pissed off. We want to put our best foot forward and not go out of this like a former version of ourselves, you know? So yeah, either one we play, I'm excited to play. Doesn't matter who, just I'm down to play.
All right, great to hear. So the last question at the very least, so just to forget the loss for a minute, right? You were able to have your family here to watch you play here in Seoul.
Yep.
And putting the loss aside, how does it feel to play champions with their support?
It feels really good. I mean, they haven't been able to go to a lot of the VCT Americas games, so it's definitely nice to see them here and them watch me compete. But something I want more than anything is to have them see me lift a trophy. And if I'm not able to do that at this tournament, then honestly, I consider it a failure.
And I wish you the best of luck in doing so. But thank you, Com, for today. Thank you so much, and good luck in the future.
Thank you.